guys, it's a beautiful day here at Wylder Way Farm, and today we're going to talk about what we feed our goats. Mealtime over here. We obviously have outgrown our feeder, so that'll be on the quick list of, or the short list of things that need to get done around here. There's also 4 new does, so there's a lot of headbutting, and they're still trying to figure out who's in charge here. Funny enough, this little chocolate covered Nigerian dwarf, she's my old lady, and she is still the herd queen. Doesn't matter how big the goats get, she is herd queen. How beautiful and colorful they all are eating. I just love it. So I want to start by saying that there are many different ways to feed a goat correctly. If you are part of any of the goat Facebook groups, you will know that if you ask the question, what should you feed your goat, you'll get lots of different answers, and some people even get really upset if you don't feed your goat exactly like they think you should feed your goat. I have a grumpy baby here. He's just sad. We're trying to just get through the video though. So for starters, we feed hay. I'm a believer in hay versus pellets. That's kind of the two bases that you can feed your goats. Some people will feed alfalfa or even like a grass pellet, and some people feed hay. Now, the reason that people like to feed pellets is because there's less waste. The goats will pretty much eat every single pellet that you put down, and they're not going to be wasting it. Whereas if you feed hay, you're going to have waste. They're going to leave some on the ground, and once the hay hits the ground, goats won't really eat it. Like they're a little picky. Like once they've stepped on it or pooped on it or anything like that, they're not going to eat it. So there's more waste with hay. As you can see all over the ground over here, you get a good idea of all the waste. And it's not great, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's not covered. It's mostly the more sticky stuff from the alfalfa that they tend to leave. They don't waste a ton. I feel like for the benefits of hay, there's not enough waste for me to change it. If I were to ever switch to pellets, because it's something that we have thought about, my husband's brought it up, I would still be feeding some sort of grass hay. She's eating the alfalfa right off of her back there. I would still be feeding some sort of grass hay so that their rumens could be working throughout the day. Hi, sweet girl. This is, let's see, I'm still learning names. That is Camilla is her name. Hey, gorgeous. Gorgeous. So goats are grazers and browsers. What do you have in your mouth? Are you eating something you shouldn't be? So as I was saying, the first reason that I like to feed my goats hay instead of a pellet is because I'm kind of a purist when it comes to things of nature. And goats were naturally made to graze and browse and eat plants that God made from the ground. And so I just feel like when we're feeding hay, we're just getting closer to nature than if we were to feed pellets. We also do let the goats out all spring and summer to graze, so they get a lot of natural grazing in as well. So the second reason that I prefer to feed grass is because it's just really good for their rumens. So goats are ruminants, they chew their cud. they're supposed to be working those rumens like all day. A goat with a sluggish rumen can have a lot of other health issues. So you want them to be challenging those rumens to work. And if they're eating a meal in the morning and at night of pellets, then their rumens are not working all day. Whereas when they have hay, they munch on it all day. So they'll eat the bulk of it at breakfast and dinner, but then as soon as you know, their big meals are done, they're still all throughout the day just munching and enjoying their hay. Just let them eat it out of your hand, Ted.
Yeah.
So we feed a mixture of alfalfa and grass hay. In the past, we have fed alfalfa, which is this, and then a grass. Here we have the grass hay, and here we have the alfalfa. I like to do both because they eat the alfalfa up right away. They love it. And then they tend to leave the grass hay a little longer so they can kind of munch on it throughout the day. We did just get this new hay brought in, and this is a grass alfalfa mix. So it's all mixed in there. So we'll only have to feed one hay, which is going to make our lives a little easier. So we're looking forward to that.
Look at this guy. Hey. Hey, buddy.
Look at you, fella.
Bruin.
Bruin.
Hey. I gotcha. I got you. It's pretty pokey in there, huh?
You barely turned around.
Are you stuck?
Oh, you got it?
Hey! How fun playing the hay barn.
Hi. Oh.
Oh, there's a hole.
So I know that I might get reamed on YouTube and Facebook for not having a feeder, but guys, this is, I don't know who that is that makes that cute noise. Somebody makes the cutest sound when they eat. Hi, buddy. But guys, this is real life. And I grew by 6 goats a couple weeks ago, and the girls need a bigger feeder. The boys moved pens. Their feeder will definitely not fit them, and I figured it would cause more fighting than anything else. And we need to build a new feeder for the girls and give the boys the girls' feeder. And that takes some time when you have 8 children and a million projects going on. So they will have a feeder. Don't y'all worry. Now here in our milk barn, which is a little bit of a mess these days, we are working on the milking barn. We're going to be having an electrician coming out, and we're going to be like framing it all in, and it's going to be super nice. We milk in here. We also have a special kidding stall in here. I will show that all when we get it done and as we're getting it done. But here is the feed that we keep in here for right now. At the moment, in what is technically a kidding stall, we keep the other kinds of feed. So we do have pellets on our farm because, and I'll show you the pellets, we use these pellets for several different things around here. First off, we use them for the cow. So when the cow gets milked, she needs some sort of feed. We don't want to give her just a bunch of grain, so we give her alfalfa pellets with some grain, but she gets majority alfalfa pellets. So alfalfa pellets are these are high quality fortified horse pellets. They're high quality hay crunched into pellets, and they just provide her with a lot of protein and things like that. We also use these for the goats when the goats are in milk. I'm not milking any of my goats right now because we're just waiting for them to kid, and I've just been busy with children and stuff. But when they do get milked, they also get alfalfa pellets. We feed them to the pigs, and I'll do a separate like what we feed the pigs and the cows and all that video. And we also use the alfalfa pellets for deworming the goats. So when I use an herbal dewormer, and I'm going to do a whole separate video on that as well, but when they need that, they use the alfalfa pellets. So these are horse pellets, so they're big. We used to get these little skinny goat pellets, but the cow just went through them so fast. Like, she didn't even chew them, she just inhaled them, that she was just eating way more than she needed to every time we milked. So we switched to these little guys, or these big guys. And the goats, I mean, it slows them down a little bit, but it doesn't seem to cause any problems. We also put some water in them before we give them to the goats. So we soak them a little bit to avoid any kind of, sorry, my husband's driving his truck around, to avoid any kind of choking. The next thing that we have in here is cob from our local feed store. It is just cracked corn, oats, and barley. So the cob we use for the cow. The cow gets a couple scoops of it, not a ton. We give a little bit of it to the pigs, and we'll use it for treats for the goats. So I'll stick it in my pockets and I'll go in and give it to them as a treat, but it's not a regular feed for the goats. Lastly, we have black oil sunflower seeds. These, I feel like they're every farmer's secret weapon. These are like one of my favorite things that we feed here. So black oil sunflower seeds, they're different than normal sunflower seeds. They do not have any white lines on them. That's how you can kind of tell the difference. They're just black. And they are very high in fat and oils and minerals and vitamins. So they are just good for just about everything. We feed them to everybody on the farm. They're fantastic for milk production. Like, we literally, every single time that we like run out for like a week and then we get some and we start them up on it again, the milk production goes up. They're so good for milk production. And just overall health. I mean, the way that an animal, whether it be a goat or a cow or a pig, looks when they're eating them, their coats or their fur will just be more shiny, softer. They just look like a healthier animal. So I love the black oil sunflower seeds. So last but not least, we have free minerals. My goats get free minerals. It's similar to like the mineral blocks that you'd buy for your cow or your horse. We keep those out and around too. But goats need a little extra. They have a hard time with their mineral balances, especially like copper and selenium. So we do free minerals, which is where we just put minerals in into a bowl, and they love them. So I do a couple different kinds. I do this Mana Pro goat minerals. This one's high in copper. It's like candy for them. So I don't only do this because I feel like they just like eat it up because they love it so much. So I mix it with this Redmond's, which is actually, this is like the brand of salt that we buy. It's just a really great natural mineral brand. So this is a goat mineral. It's mostly salts. There are some other things in there, but because it is a salt brand, it does not, it has everything. It has calcium, phosphorus, salt, magnesium, potassium, sulfur, zinc, copper, iron, selenium. It's got everything that a goat should need, but not necessarily in as high as amounts as a goat should have. So I like to mix both of them together. Sweet Licks is a really good one. They don't sell it anywhere around here, and to ship it is like insane. I cannot find anywhere that ships it for like a decent price. So this is what we do for our free minerals. This is important, just like the deworming. It's an important part to keeping your goat healthy.
Thank you for enjoying our video. Right?
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe to our channel.
Please subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our channel.